Welcome back to the Shade Tree Garage, and today is Mother's Day, and we just had our Mother's Day brunch, and I'm back out here in the shop, and they're going to do an unboxing video, and this was honestly, this is a TEMU purchase. Had some extra fun money and decided I needed a pressure washer. Now my daughter has a pressure washer, and I think it's about 1200 psi, kind of the bottom end of the in the scale of pressure goes. And this is a TEMU one that was actually less expensive than my daughter's, and promises to have well, I don't remember the specs on it, but it promises to have more power, and we'll see about that. If it's a pressure washer at all, even if it isn't any more than my daughter's, having my daughter's pressure washer, and I've never owned one, here at the house for a while, made me realize we need a pressure washer. So anyway, we'll try this one out and see if it's worth keeping or putting in bulk item pickup next spring. All right, so let's get to unboxing, shall we? And let's see, I'm here on the actually in the overhead door, and I'm having a hard time seeing my the display on my phone to show you, to see what the camera's seeing. So bear with me. All right, this is what it looks like assembled, and obviously in this small a box there's assembly required. All right, let's get this thing open, and we'll pull the parts out and see what we got and what we need to do. Seeing the camera, or what the camera sees anyway. All right, well, we have a bunch of parts, and this of course is the main body of the thing. Let's get the bag off of it. And you have your choice of colors, by the way, whether you want blue, red, or green, or whatever this color is. All right, hose hooked up. All right, now there are instructions. So, and let's see what I can. This actually doesn't look that difficult, though there are some individual parts floating around in this bag. A couple of little washers. Let me try to get the instructions out by themselves. This is the instructions. Oh boy. Told in picture form like IKEA. Well, all right. And I didn't bring glasses with me. Well, let's see what we can do here. All right, I think this is a KLC T-1. Yeah, I believe so. All right, let's see. There is a handle. Well, that's the good news. These are all the different color tips. So those are included. And I'm not real sure. Oh, okay. I thought I was looking for an axle for the wheels, and they basically clip in the side here somewhere. All right, so that's simple. Now let's turn it around. This cord's going to be a pain in the butt. All right, let's put the wheels in per the instructions. All right, there's one wheel. It's supposed to have a screw in it too, I believe. All right. All right, now where are the screws? I think they're in here. All right, time to get a screwdriver. All right. There's not a lot of parts to this, but there's enough to make you wonder. Well, fortunately, a little package of screws, all the screws, or God bless them, are the same size. So there's no way you could put the wrong screw in the wrong location. Though it wouldn't surprise me if I did. All right. Number 2, screwdriver. Now I will tell you, I've not studied how this thing goes together, so you're learning as I am. And I hope you're a better student than I am. All right. Let's see. I know that the real section goes up here. Let's see. This section goes in front. Yeah. I guess it's the front support. Actually, this looks decent quality, I guess. All right. Now let's tilt it back. All right. Snaps in place. How about that? All right. This part goes in front. There's one screw. Oh, goes in the back. I'm sorry. All right, let's turn this dude around. I like it with the up. Not my drinky poo over. All right. Oh, there's 3 screws there. All right, I've got to figure this shit out. Just like that. Okay. I can deal with that. Well, I have to say assembly seems fairly easy so far. Of course, I'm not done yet. Yeah, now we're looking a little more like a pressure washer, maybe. Maybe. All right, what other parts I got here? Now, here's a tip for you. See this orange tape on the base of this screwdriver? This is a Phillips number 2, and it seems like whenever I need a Phillips screwdriver, I never find one. And I've got several. I keep buying individual Phillips number 2s to have handy somewhere. Well, I finally decided to make sure they're always visible to put this, well, it's not as bright as it was, thanks to oil and grease and handling, some fluorescent orange tape on the handle. That way I can spot it across the shop if it's sitting on a bench. If it's anywhere partly visible, I can typically spot it. So anyway, especially given the fact that my distant eyesight isn't what it used to be. Now, these are the assembly instructions, and I'm still on the very first frame. So, all right, there's this piece here, and let's turn around the back. And it's supposed to go some bed. Let's see. Actually, I'm wrong. I've been looking at the KLC-T2. What I have here in front of me is the KLC T3, which has the reel, the hose reel, as part of the upper part. Anyway, all these are all the same, except the only difference is you have a hose reel to attach rather than just a handle. All right. So, okay, this, I'm gonna have to get a rubber mallet, I think. I don't know, that's good. All right. Next is this part. Now, how many holes we got here? The screws go in from the back to hold this on. All right, let's see if I can mate it correctly here. Oh, okay. There it goes. Put some screws in it. If I can see where they go. Now, what's left? Got everything on. Oh, okay. This is just it's confusing me. These are just images of the front and back of this power washer assembled. All right, actually there's English. All right. Actually, the English translation here is pretty darn good. All right, this is just safety rules. Who needs them? General operating precautions. Keep work area clean and well lit. Cluttered benches and dark areas invite accidents. Do not operate washer in explosive atmospheres, such as in presence of flammable liquids, gases, or dust. Keep bystanders, children, visitors, and bill collectors away. Distraction can cause you to lose control. I don't know how many ER visits that the cause of the injury is losing control of a pressure washer, but I guess it can happen. All right. Now, apparently this is for sucking out of a bucket, I'm assuming, instead of a hose. And let's see. I'm assuming, oh yeah, like most pressure washers, they're a twist fit. You push it in and turn it, and it seals. All right, there's the, I guess the inlet, the trigger safety. And these tips allegedly will go in here once you, yay, allegedly. There they go. That's what the tips look like. All right, let's put that one back. Now, I can't remember all the exact sizes. I think green is the smallest aperture. I'd have to check it to be certain. Let's see. All right. Let's turn this around. We got our hose reel. All right. Got our hose reel. All right. Yeah. That connects there. There we go. And this connects. It must connect in the rear, I believe. Yeah. I don't know. This is the water. The water inlet comes in the back on this one. And this hose connects right here in front. All right. It's got a nice... Actually, the build quality isn't bad. I mean, it's typical pressure washer. It's got the O-ring fitting, and this snugs it up. And it's not bad. Not bad quality, really, for a cheap TEMU. Actually, it was one of the more expensive TEMU purchases, but it's as good as what my daughter had, and they're probably made in the same factory. Hers had an American brand name on it. This has Foting, F-O-T-I-N-G. All right, now gun goes here, and again, I believe this is going to be this would go back here in the event you want to suck up from another source of water, a pond or a bucket or something. You don't have a hose handy. All right, well, I'm pretty jazzed about this. All right, let's see. I think there's a specific way to mount this, or there you go. I knew there was a way to mount that. All right, guys, well, there you go. Oh, and this, of course, is your soap dispenser. If you want to wash your car and you get the appropriate car wash, pressure washers, car soap, it goes in here, and then it will spray at it won't spray at high pressure. It'll bloop it out on your car, and then you use the high pressure to wash it off with. So anyway, all right, and I don't know if I think I used all the car wash soap I had, but this is the nozzle that sprays it all over the car. And then you can let it set and then spray it off under pressure. Well, I'm not going to test. I'm going to have to pause and try it out a little bit later. I'm sure if you shop TEMU, you've seen this pressure washer. I think it was $92, 91 and change. It looks like as good a quality unit as my daughter had. Now, specifications. I got it because it's supposed to have more pressure than the unit my daughter had. Hers was like entry level, 1200 psi maybe, something like that. Let's see if I can find the specs on this one. All right, flame on. Turn it to the right. It works. Windows up.
Yep.
All right, well, that's the test of my TEMU special power washer. And I don't have the manual here, but it was around $91, $92 at TEMU. And honestly, I was skeptical, but it works well. Now, the listing says 40 up to 4,200 psi, and you know that's kind of how power washers are rated by the pressure that they have. And that was a good price for one if it indeed gets anywhere near 4,200 psi. However, neither the box nor the manual mention psi. They only refer to gallons per minute. And of the 3 different models included in the instructions, the assembly instructions, this one has the highest flow, 3.2 gallons per minute. Now, how you equate that into psi, I have no idea. But I will tell you that the my son. Now I use soap. I used their soap dispenser, tried it out, and it worked well. And then, but I got to tell you about the dirt that was on that Suzuki. Now that dirt is a combination of barn dirt and dust from sitting parked in my barn for years at a time, never being washed, and also a combination of what we call black mold in our area. Now, this area is the bourbon capital of the world, and also the home to many, many, many thousands of gallons of aging bourbon in warehouses. Now, I grew up in the shadow of a distillery and, a couple dozen warehouses. And so they have what's known as the angel share, and that's the alcohol that evaporates from barreled whiskey over time. Now, whiskey usually ages 3, 5, 7, 15, 10, 15, 20 years sometimes. And every season, as the temperatures change, the whiskey, of course, is aged in charred oak barrels. And as the temperatures change and the seasons change, the whiskey soaks into the wood and then out. Don't ask me that process, but that's how bourbon whiskey is aged, in charred oak barrels. Now, through the seasons, as the seasons change, whiskey of alcohol evaporates out of the barrels, a significant amount. So if you have I've got 12 or 13 warehouses with 70,000 barrels of whiskey right down upwind of me, actually. And if you don't think those are evaporating a lot of whiskey, a lot of alcohol vapor, now you can't smell it. You can't smell the angel share, but it's there. And you can see it by how it fuels black mold. Now, black mold is just it's in our environment. And it shows up from time to time, but its growth is exacerbated by alcohol vapors. And you can see it on bourbon warehouses. They're usually streaked with black mold just because the fungus grows so prolifically in that environment. So when your vehicles are also exposed to alcohol vapors, you get black mold growing on them, just like the Suzuki. Now, the dust and barn dirt came off easy, but the black mold is much tougher. Now, even if you keep your car washed and waxed, the black mold can be a little tougher to get rid of. That's why I have mitts, scrubbing mitts, wash mitts on collapsible sticks to allow me to scrub actually the surface of my daily driver. And even then, it doesn't always come off. I have to get some sort of spray cleaner and something slightly more aggressive to get that stuff off. But the power washer, this power washer did a miraculous job on the Suzuki. This thing hadn't been washed in 7, 8 years at least, and now it is gleaming white. Now, of course, it had I had my choice of tips, and the tip color will tell you the angle of the spray. The narrower the angle, the more power it has. And I use the green tip, which is the most narrow option you have with a power washer. And so I sprayed it with soap as much as about half the car was soap. And that did okay, but it still did not get off the black mold. And it wasn't until my son took over and he began pushing the nozzle up against really, really close in on the finish of the car that he began to blast that stuff away. And it's like night and day. It really is. He did half the hood, and it really was like night and day. It was amazing. So the car is whiter now than it ever has been, I think, at least in recent history. The TEMU power washer works, and it works well. Does it reach 4,500 PSI? I don't know, but it does have a lot of power, and so I can't complain. I can't check the how much pressure it has, but it does real well. And I do know after using my daughter's pressure washer, which was entry level, like 1,500, it has more power than hers. So give that's as scientific as I can get. Just more than hers, but how much it remains to be seen. It does have a flow rate of 3.2 gallons per minute maximum. So that may tell you something there. I don't know. I'm not an expert on power washers, but I'm happy to have one now, one that works well. All right, guys. Well, that's my review of the TEMU power washer. Now, TEMU has several models, some cheaper. I think they in the price range from mid-50s to just under $100. And I'm sure they're segments just like in the regular market, depending on power and flow. So I'm happy with the one I have. I'd probably have been happy with the cheaper one that was $40 less. Just having any power washer is nice to have. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another review of another product next time. So take care and get out and enjoy the weather. And we'll see you next time from here within the Shade Tree Garage.